Hey, welcome in. Tonight, one of our 10 all-Canadian matchups on Scotiabank Wednesday night hockey. Beautiful Montreal. The Flames, they're starting a 5-game road trip, still looking for their first win of 2026. Montreal had an excellent road trip, and they start a 4-game homestand. Great to have you along. Welcome into our studios. Luke Gastick, Jennifer Botterill, Colby Armstrong, David Amber. And yes, the Flames, yes, there's some great young players, Luke, but they're still leaning on that veteran core as they try and pull themselves up in the Western Conference standings.
Yeah, start with two of their veterans here, and Blake Coleman, the Texas Tornado, and their captain, their strong point, their backbone, and Michael Backlund. These two guys have played together pretty much seemingly, I think, since Blake Coleman joined the Calgary Flames. And for them, it's about the job they do on the defensive side of the puck. You're talking about Backlund being first in points, Coleman being third in goals, but the amount of time these guys start in the defensive zone, this is in the entire league. They sit 2 and 3 in defensive zone starts. And I say that because as a forward, it is not an easy task to win a D-zone draw, have a set play, get a set exit, get the line, get in, and to create offense. And that is what these two have been doing on a regular basis. Right now, it's Coronado playing with them, but it's two guys that seemingly are always in the right spots, doing the little things, doing those small details that Ryan Huska just has to love. Probably two of the most dangerous forwards, and this is exactly what we're talking about. You win a draw in the D-zone, head down to the offensive zone, and there's the leading goal scorer of the Calgary Flames, Blake Coleman, doing a great job for this hockey team.
The offense has come alive for Calgary, but clearly their strength is defense and goaltending, and it's going to be Dustin Wolf, 7th straight start for him. Meanwhile, a trio of goalies at the disposal of Martin St. Louis. He's going with the rookie, though, Jacob Fowler, Colby, tonight in net.
If you're a Montreal fan, you have to be hopeful and loving this kid. And I got a first-hand view. His first few games, 4 games in the league, his first and his fourth were against the Pittsburgh Penguins. His first win, a 4-2 win in Pittsburgh. The guy was in an absolute rocking chair. I was like, is this Carey Price? We go into Pittsburgh game 4. He pitches his first shutout of the season in a 4-0 win as well. So the future is bright for this team, and him coming on the scene this year gives them even more brightness shining with his play and his potential. I love him. I think he's really, really good. He's calm, he's smooth, he's big. He's got all the attributes you're looking for.
Well, Colby, it's almost fitting for this team how often we talk about the young talent, the skill, right? And now you've got it between the pipes in Fowler. He's had the few wins in December, and now you've got a tough, demanding schedule. You've got a 4-game home stretch here, the start of a back-to-back, and now you have goaltenders for this team that are improving significantly over the course of the season. So now Fowler can come in and build off that confidence. And Dave, as you mentioned, now there's this luxury of 3 goaltenders. What an environment in this game, opportunity for him to prove himself even further.
Depth is a luxury.
It is.
There you go.
Dustin Wolf
Quote
comment.
by Wolf.
Montreal goaltending. It's Dryden, Waugh, Theodore, Price, Fowler now. The beat goes on and on. John Abbott, Kelly Rudy, Sean McKenzie are ready to go in Montreal. Enjoy the first. We'll see you after 20 on Scotiabank Wednesday Night Hockey.
84% battery power. Not.
Modern lives deserve modern design. Discover furniture curated to match the way you live, with flexible financing that fits your
Not charging.
lifestyle. Kanto Furniture.
Hello everyone and welcome to Montreal, where we are just moments away from puck drop between the Habbs and the Flames. We are just past the halfway point of the season, and the Montreal Canadiens may still be one of the youngest teams in the NHL, but they put themselves in a great spot. So how have they done it? Well, skill and a ton of it, but also culture. There was a great article in The Athletic not long ago all about the makeup of great teams, and it was a professor from Cornell that said it's teams that know each other, trust each other, have an emotional connection to each other. Why is that relevant? Well, yesterday when asked what he likes the most about his team, Kent Hughes brought that up unprompted.
And I saw the article you wrote the other day, and the professor from Cornell talking about how you build culture and that kind of thing. And I think that is what we have going on here, is that you have a group of guys that are playing for each other.
Now, speaking of culture, that has been a main talking point around the Calgary Flames ever since Zane Parek's comments at the World Juniors. He has apologized. The team has moved on. He won't play tonight, but he has joined the Flames on this road trip, and what an important road trip it was. They played well in December to get themselves back in the mix, but important 5 games coming up that could dictate where the Calgary Flames go from here. But let's find out what happens tonight. Moments from puck drop. First, the national anthem. Enjoy.
Mesdames, Messieurs, veuillez maintenant vous lever, retirer chapeaux et casquettes pour l'interprétation de l'hymne national par Brittany Kennel, accompagnée à l'orgue par Diane Bibo. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and move your hats and caps for the national anthem performed by Brittany Kennel, accompanied on the organ by Diane Bibo.
It's Wednesday night hockey from Montreal. The Canadiens are finally back home, and suddenly they're just 3 points back of an Eastern Conference lead. Calgary, meanwhile, open up a 5-game road trip trying to improve the road record, hoping an infusion of youth will help. Tonight's starting goaltenders Dustin Wolf for a 7th consecutive time took the Habs to overtime in their earlier meeting this season. He's 3-0-1 in his career against Montreal, and at the other end, it'll be Jacob Fowler, his 3rd home start. The only home win was a big one, December 20th. You heard Colby talk about it, a 4-0 shutout victory over the Penguins.
And what an exciting night for Phil Deneau. Traded back to the Montreal Canadiens after 4.5 years in Los Angeles. First home game in his 2nd stint with the Canadiens. And for the Flames, how about Nazem Kadri? He loves these environments here at the Bell Center.
Not charging.
I expect a big one from Nazem tonight.
Kadri will start with Huberdeau, the Quebec native, along with Klapka up front. Anderson and Ball on the blue line. It's Suzuki, Caulfield, and Texier for the Montreal Canadiens with Dobson and Matheson. Kadri and the Flames will move it. Some lineup changes for Huska as Wolf stops an early one, and he'll hang on. It's time for Keys to a W, brought to you by J.P. Weiser's, the perfect Canadian whiskey for game night.
All right, for Montreal, play with pace. Every time I've watched them, they've had a great game. Man, they play fast. For the Flames, strong forecheck. When they are on the forecheck and hunting pucks, they are at their best.
No changes for the Montreal Canadiens, who came off of road trip that went into Christmas and out of Christmas. Picked up 10 of a possible 14 points. Matheson shoots and a stick save by Dustin Wolf. Reset to the line by Montreal. Matheson again. Now Suzuki
Post 9899. Free of 3 Wi-Fi bars. Status bar item. Swipe down with 3 fingers to reveal notifications. Swipe up with 3 fingers to reveal the control center. Double tap to scroll to top.
Texier across, and ball breaks out. It was Caulfield and darted back down the Calgary zone. Flames across center. Huberdeau pressuring Dobson. Klapka unable to get to that puck. Cole Caulfield will take it. 20 goals, 20 assists for number 13 so far this season. Slavkovsky. Up to Demidov on the outside. Slavkovsky back to the line. Hudson off the stick of Mackenzie Weegar. Now into the slot for Slavkovsky, who swung and missed a couple of times. And it'll be Michael Backlund moving it up. Matt Coronado. That line staying together. That trio for Ryan Huska. Pretty much everything else is changed up front for the Flames. The Slavkovsky plays to Demidov. That puck trickling, bouncing right in front of Dustin Wolf, but Rasmus Anderson is there to pick it up on the Coronado, but stolen back by Montreal.
Oh boy, big Kevin Dahl had Demidov lined up, didn't he?
Yeah, he has been a physical force on Calgary's blue line all season.
He has, even more so lately.
Gallagher on the outside, and a stick stopped by Dustin Wolf, who's sharp in the early goings for Calgary.
You're exactly right, John. We're going to point that out, too, because I spot last game versus Seattle. It wasn't his fault they lost, but he did not have a great start in the first. He was a little bit shaky tonight. I don't see that. I see an extremely confident and comfortable Dustin Wolf, and it's a really good sign early on. He looks really dialed in. Now, I will say this, some of the shots have been from well out, but it doesn't matter. I just see a different look from Wolf, and that's a great sign for the Flames.
And on the ice wearing 65 in white is big William Stromgren, his first NHL game, NHL debut at age 22 in Montreal.
What an experience. Boy, did he have a smile on his face today.
Family watching back in Sweden, tried to get the plane tickets and get into Montreal, but weather prevented that idea.
Hoping to go to Boston tomorrow.
Montreal looking to move it. Valeno has Beck inside the Calgary zone. Play through a hit. Cross with Stromgren. And Lomberg tonight to start. Rustevich gets back into the lineup on the blue line for the Flames. He helped move it. Stromgren into the game. Took a hard hit. And a second one right by the curved glass on that Montreal bench. Well, welcome to the National Hockey League. Montreal Canadiens letting Stromgren know what the night might be like as Caulfield threw it on after Wolf got a piece behind the net. Dustin Wolf recovering. Here's Matt Coronado. 2-on-1 for Calgary. Coronado in, shoots, stopped by Fowler, who corrals it on the Flames' first chance.
Well, Arbor Xhekaj is going to take notice of Stromgren, and he's going to go after him here on his first shift. There was Xhekaj on the second hit, and what an opportunity here for Matt Coronado. Carrier fumbles the puck, and it gets to be a 3-on-1, and Coronado with a good shot. Fowler with a nice save, his first save of the night.
Drawn to the right of Fowler in that Montreal crease. Coronado tried to sweep one on Anderson. Shot was blocked by Sapkowski. And Coronado will race after it into his own zone. Ball stretches it out up through the middle. Wayne Hudson tucks it back. Carrier on to Kapanen, who has been a pleasant arrival as the second line center for the Montreal Canadiens. Sapkowski trying to outlet up the zone, but Coronado doubling back defensively. Will steal, and in transition, here come the Flames. Backlund, his shot off a stick of Wayne Hudson, who stepped up to defend. Coleman swings to Mackenzie Weegar. Traffic in front of Fowler. He didn't see it, darted into the corner after it went off a body. Calgary trying to keep it in. They did initially with Kuznetsov, but now out. And Montreal plays quickly. Sapkowski to Hudson. Tries to get around Weegar, nearly worked. Tap towards the goal. Wolf kept it in play with his paddle. And the Flames will quiet it down and get up ice with Adam Klapka leading the charge. Klapka kept it around Matheson. Huberdeau's bid to put it into the far corner didn't work, but Kadri's there. Nazem Kadri trying to cut back with it. Loose puck came to Wayne Hudson. Sitting on 97 assists in his career already.
He is one incredible player to watch. One of my favorite.
Huberdeau slips it in. Fowler started out. Dobson will play it instead. Crowd urging on Montreal as they move up ice. Texier looking for Caulfield, and right with him was Kevin Ball to ensure no opportunity on that possession. Fairby in, and a glove stop by Fowler, stretching out the left hand.
Well, Michael Backlund knows how skilled Hudson is, and so whenever you get an opportunity, you've got to lay a lick on him. And here's Hudson entering the Flame zone, and there's Michael Backlund finishing his check. We'll see a lot of that tonight. How about this little save by Fowler? Fairby getting that on Beautiful glove save, Fowler. I love the positioning too, top of the crease.
Fowler's been a winner at the USHL, the World Junior level, Boston College.
Yes, he has.
And one of 3 goalies for the Montreal Canadiens right at this moment. Dobish is backing up tonight. Habbs first of a back-to-back at home. Florida's in here tomorrow. Gallagher. Dubois takes a look. That's a sharp angle shot. Blocked down in front. Swung back to the point. Dobson to Matheson as Montreal spreads it out. Off a stick. Flames trying to get out. And Uyghur returns 32 today. We'll move it on to Zary. Tried a shot, but that goes off the stick of Dobson defending.
What a day to turn 32 when you're playing in the Bell Center in Montreal, one of the greatest rinks, one of the greatest cities in the league. How exciting.
This was the seat of Uyghur's first ever NHL game, so comes full circle. Stronger took a look, saw Valeno coming, protects that puck in the corner for the Flames. Up the boards, Morgan Frost stretches out to the right wing side for Brustevich. As he hit the line, the play goes offside. Physical affair early between the Flames and the Canadiens, just the way we like it on Wednesday Night Hockey.
Sharing. It's simple. It's what we were raised to do. But somewhere along the line...
Kelly.
Oh, amazing for Suzuki, Slafkovsky, Kapanen, and Texier, all named to their Olympic teams. What an exciting way to come back to Montreal, and really nice of the Canadiens to honor them.
There were plenty, and probably still will be until the puck drops in Italy, that would suggest 1 or 2 other Canadians should have been announced to the American roster with no Caulfield or Hudson.
Well, I'm in that boat. I'm not criticizing their roster because they're going for something different, but those are pretty highly skilled players.
This one pops to Fowler. Kadri right there, but Fowler will cover up.
So you and I had a great chance to talk with Marty St. Louis this morning. He's such a great mood, such a great guy. But he did say about the Calgary Flames that this is a totally different team from when they played them October 22nd in Calgary. And he has a lot of respect for the Flames, the way they fought back and climbed back to 500 a couple games ago.
Yeah, that was part of a slower start to the season for the Flames, although they did get a point in overtime that night in Calgary.
Mike Matheson with the overtime winner, and it was a beauty, a great pass from Demidov.
That was back when Dobish was in net, and he started the season with 6 straight wins.
That's right.
So a lot has changed for both teams, but still pushing at the midway point of the season. Klapka will race up ice with a carry. He turns. Klapka cuts to the middle, off the stick of Carey, who got enough to defend as Calgary couldn't knock it down. Demidov played it up. Kapanen in for Montreal. Shoulder check by Anderson. Played it over to Kuznetsov. He was jammed up by Demidov. NHL's rookie points leader Demidov working in the corner. Swung back to the line, down the slot again. Kapanen is covered by Huberdeau. And Slafkovsky's shot was blocked by Rasmus Anderson, who does that on a regular basis on the Flames blue line. Anderson came in with 77 blocked shots to this point. Mackenzie Weegar leads with 88 for the Calgary Flames. Montreal, a threatening team, have had some good opportunities already. Hanley will not have to catch up to this one.
All right, so I mentioned the Canadiens. This is their first game back from a 7-game road trip. Look at the record, unbelievable. 4-1-2, goals 4, really stingy defensively. Games decided in overtime or shootout.
Dynamic island, empty. Status bar item.
Come back.
Swipe up or down to select a custom action, then double tap to activate.
Versus the Panthers in Florida. But keep in mind, they did come home for Christmas on that break, so it wasn't a continuous 7-game trip.
It's a lot of road play. They had 5 after Christmas. Up until this point, it's their first home game in a while. The crowd ready for it in Montreal, as they always are. Backlund got the stick up, and Struble was trying to sell that. Bolduc, gloved his stick. Lifted for a moment in front of the penalty boxes. Coleman is there, handling things for Calgary on the backlip and into the Montreal zone. Flames have scored 47 goals to this point in the season from December to January. Backlund and Coleman, they've contributed to over 23% of those in that time. It's from 36-year-old Backlund and 34-year-old Coleman. Gallagher in the Calgary zone, looking for Deneau. That was broken up. Ball couldn't get there. Hudson will keep it alive for Montreal briefly until Lomberg will chip one out through the middle. Hudson going for a skate on to Suzuki. Hudson trying to play it around some of the Calgary sticks. Ends up in the far corner. Caulfield's one-timer stopped by Wolf, who was ready for that. Frost will float one and a bouncer right on to Fowler, who handled it well, all things considered.
All right, so Michael Backlund's really in this. How about Struble? Let's see if he actually does get a high stick right there. It's hard to tell, but he certainly reacts. No call, so same shift. He's going to go right back at Michael Backlund, send a message back, and then best save so far by Dustin Wolf. Caulfield right in the high slot, rips that one right off the right shoulder. Great save by Wolf. Incredible release by Caulfield.
Dustin Wolf, the busier of the two netminders so far. 7 for 7 against Montreal in the early goings.
Well, this is what Marty St. Louis was looking for. He wanted them to start on time, and they've had a real good start here early.
Sharangovich trying to go up the boards. That avenue was blocked. Mackenzie Weegar took a hard hit. Montreal came up with a puck. Flames try to force it to the line, and it does come out. Valeno was in there throwing the body. Here comes back in with a shot off the crossbar and out. Owen Beck ripped it, and it ended up off the pipe.
Boy, what a quick up, too. This is what Montreal does. Their transition game is super quick. Right there, Matheson, the quick up, and Beck right from the hash mark shoots it right off the post. Look at the positioning by Wolf. He's in great position. That's just a terrific shot that beats him right off the post.
Beck was looking for his second of the season, that close. And as we've been accustomed to, Dustin Wolf with a kiss to the crossbar.
Yes, indeed.
Ball all the way around. Kadri couldn't get there. Icing waved off. Fowler will start out after it. Matheson up the middle. Slafkovsky moving in. Plays to Demidov. He was looking for a tip in front as Kapanen was driving the Calgary net. Flames able to divert that. Ball crosses over to the Montreal zone and then heads back to the bench. Demidov moving in quickly. Krustovich lost his stick. Demidov plays to Slafkovsky and a left shoulder stop by Wolf. Slafkovsky again and a stop by Wolf. Puck jumped off of him. Backlund was there to handle it for the Flames. Some sharp shooters for Montreal. Testing Wolf. Hudson swung one over and offside is a play as Weegar tried to bring it back in.
Another great chance by Montreal. Slafkovsky's going to get this opportunity. Boy, what a quick release. And Dustin Wolf once more kissing his post after that chance.
From Uri Slafkovsky, who's been very good ever since moving off the Habs top line, which led to a bit of an interesting question at Habs practice yesterday.
Has changing lines made you a better player, do you believe?
No.
Well, there's no way to misinterpret that answer, but the most points since December 20th. He is right up there amongst some of the elite players. First line, second player. He's producing either way, guys.
I love his honesty.
Straight to the point.
Right.
4 goals in his last 5 games for Slafkovsky, including a big night in Tampa. Perrier doubles back right into traffic. Puck scoots to the Montreal net. Fowler jumps on that.
Download the Bet365 app and see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Well, Ryan Huska was telling us this morning about Montreal that they're one of the most exciting teams in the NHL, and they really forecheck really well because they dump the puck in a lot, which most people don't think of because of all the skill they have.
Both coaches complimentary of the other sides.
You don't often hear a coach say how exciting another team is. They may say how hard-working or their structure or something, but exciting, not often.
Vodka finished a hit on Texier in front of the Montreal bench. Weegar back to collect it in the Calgary zone. Off a stick. Montreal nearly turned that around. Caulfield couldn't find it. Suzuki located. Little stick work from Kadri on Suzuki. Couple of London boys. Caulfield knuckles that one into the Calgary corner. Ball plays around to Rasmus Andersson. Fluttering puck. Backlund trying to find it at center. Bounced into the hands of Arber Xhekaj. He'll send to Struble, and up ice come the Canadiens. Beck, who had that chance off the crossbar, watches as the Flames will move it quickly. Coronado out of the reach of Coleman. Icing against Calgary.
Well, what a great start for the Canadiens. They've had some real quality chances, I said earlier in the broadcast, but Dustin Wolf has been so sharp, and it is noticeable when he is dialed in like that. He is just at a different level, so that's good news for the Flames.
Devin Cooley did not back up in the last Flames home game. He was under the weather, but is on the Calgary bench tonight. Flames in a back-to-back there in Boston tomorrow.
That'll be interesting to see that unfold.
Ball, and Andersson able to get that puck out to center. Backlund cross ice. Coronado stretching out. Then he'll motor down the wing as the shot that missed the net. Wolf on to Kuznetsov. Frost angled it, but Xhekaj jumps in. His shot stopped by Wolf, who will reel it in under the glove.
Well, I know Xhekaj is a physical guy. He can fight, physical, all the sort of things, but this is a high skill play by Xhekaj. And he's going to get this puck at the blue line and just back up a little bit. He's waiting for a little bit of traffic to get to the net. Nobody does, but that was a nice play by Xhekaj.
Face off to the left of Dustin Wolf. Kadri against Suzuki. Suzuki wins it. Carrying. Shoots looking for the backdoor play. And Caulfield couldn't redirect it. Hudson. Stick handling in the corner. Suzuki out in front for Caulfield again. And he fanned on that attempt. Kind of jammed him in the middle. Caulfield. Now Texier. Knocked down to Suzuki in front. Carrier all the way down low and behind the Calgary net. Kuznetsov chasing after him. Kadri waiting for that puck to come free. Suzuki trying to find it. Up the boards. Flames have a chance to get out. Caulfield. Motoring through the middle. Caulfield in with a shot. That's blocked by Ball. Caulfield again with a drive, and that missed on the left side, short side of Wolf. Canadiens still with the puck. Looked like it was going to be held in by Matheson, who had to retreat after it slipped over the blue line.
Man, Caulfield gets a chance every time he's on the ice, doesn't he?
He is always a dangerous threat.
Certainly helps when you have a center like Nick Suzuki, too.
Lomberg moving in. Frost centering that line tonight. Fowler hits around Stromgren. And Deneau back in Montreal. Deneau on the backhand swings to the line. And two cracks out. Oh, what a save by Dustin Wolf to Ron Gallagher in front. Montreal continuing to press here. Hudson's shot was blocked. Stick lift by Stromgren, able to skate this one out of trouble as the Flames find another big save from Dustin Wolf.
Wow, listen to the crowd here. They're really into it now.
Bolduc lost it. Farabee turns the corner, drives the net, and just missed, tucking it in. Sharangovich on the follow-up shot missed. And Calgary with a net drive that just went wide. Off the skate of Kuznetsov, nearly bounced out in front. Sharangovich prevented that. Rustevich will move it. Sharangovich in front of the Calgary bench. Flames changing. Sharangovich falls at the Montreal side of center. Jack-Guy lifts it in. Hanley turns. Off his stick as Jack-Guy hit Hanley hard. Valeno chased up the boards. Jack-Guy sends it cross corner in the far side of the Calgary zone. Jack-Guy in, shoots, left pass saved by Wolf. Rebound collected by Coronado. Remember, Jack-Guy was on a one-man mission there. Sammy Blais. Matheson crossing the Calgary line, shoots, glove stop, piece of the left hand on that from Wolf. Klapka around the stick work of Demidov. Klapka in, nearly sprung Kadri. Looked like the Habs had numbers the other way, but two ran into one another. Slafkovsky centering for Kapanen and missed the mark. Three Flames the other way. Kadri with Rasmus Andersson. Couldn't get to the inside. Kadri goes down hard. He had started to lose an edge and then was roughed up along the end boards by Dobson. Matheson on the outside of Anderson. Peels back. Takes a look. Spin move around Morgan Frost. Matheson holds the line. Dumps it in and Rasmus Andersson will take over. Hudson able to keep it alive for Montreal. Frost digging for it. Flames trying to get out. Anderson will. And Calgary goes for a change.
It's been all Canadians. Flames haven't had a shot in over 7 minutes.
Sharangovich. Uyghur now across. Ball trying to change that. Farabee holds the line. Joel Farabee snaps it off the post. That hit the short side iron to the right of Fowler. Caulfield some room the other way. And he puts it off the side of the net. Caulfield had to go off a stick.
Farabee's had some jump tonight, John, hasn't he?
He has, coast to coast. Back the Canadians come. Hudson off the stick of ball, and he'll take the break.
Boy, Arbor Jack-Guy having a presence tonight. Watch this big hit on Hanley. Of chances. Watch Suzuki right through the crease. The Caulfield can't quite connect. And then Gallagher's going to get a great chance right in front. Watch a glove by Wolf taking away that opportunity. Farabee with a power move around Hudson gets a great opportunity. And seconds later, Farabee right off the post. Still nothing in the first period.
Shots are 13-5 favoring the Montreal Canadiens, who line up to the left of Dustin Wolf. Backlund versus Deneau. 360 games in a Montreal uniform for Phillip Deneau prior to being traded back to this organization.
He was really good in LA, but it's kind of nice to see him back here, isn't it, John?
Seems to fit. Jack-Guy shoots, glove save, Dustin Wolf.
Check out Bet365's early payout for NHL. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 3-goal lead, you get paid no matter the final score.
Off the draw, Montreal controlling. Jack-Guy floats one on, stopped by Wolf. There was traffic from Gallagher. Wolf picked it up to make the stop. Jack-Guy navigating some Calgary pressure. That takes a Montreal bounce, but then slips out of off the stick to Gallagher, and a hit after by Bolduc. Coleman draws a crowd. That was after the whistle.
some big hits in tonight's game. Been played with a lot of pace, a lot of energy. It's nice to see both teams really engage in this. And here's the play. Coleman after the whistle, and Bolduc comes in. Big hit. You knew the Flames would take exception to that as well. Struble comes in with Hanley, I believe. Here's another look at it. You could hear the whistle. And it was Struble actually right there that came in late and grabbed Hanley. He's the one getting the penalty.
This power play brought to you by Royale Tiger Towel, Paper Towel. Power through tough messes and so much more. You said it, Kelly. Struble in the box. Flames to the power play. Calgary was 3 for 13 on their 5-game homestand. They are 32nd ranked in the National Hockey League on the power play. Montreal 23rd overall on the kill. That puck must have jumped into the netting. Sharangovich was waiting for it and it just never made it there.
Well, Sharangovich, he's really come alive lately, and I don't know if we'll see it on this power play, but when he gets off on the flank, they really look for him a lot, and he's got that wicked, weird wrister. He just kind of whips it at the goaltender and gives him a lot of problem.
Anderson tried to go to Sharangovich, but off the tip of the stick of Deneau. Marty St. Louis said left-hand center, penalty killer. Checks the boxes for Phil Deneau.
Exactly.
Coronado on to Kadri, back to Coronado. Pressure by Matheson, broke up that possession for the Flames. They're trying to get that back. Kadri does. Up to the point for Rasmus Andersson. Across to Huberdeau, into the slot for Coronado. He was covered at the last moment, and Montreal will send it down. Flames on the power play. Stolen just inside the Montreal territory. Dodson the latest to send it to Dustin Wolf. Zary trying to get around Valeno, dropped it back. Frost with speed, carries in. Coleman to Morgan Frost. Zary working on Dodson in the Montreal corner. Coleman wraps it around. Backward to the line for Uyghur. Uyghur with traffic. One-timer, Coleman, right pad saved by Fowler. Uyghur resetting on the power play for the Flames. Now to Frost, his shot stopped. Fowler rebound, poked at by Backlund, and that will draw a crowd.
Well, the puck did come loose, but in fairness to the officials, they lost sight of it, and it appeared as though Fowler did have it. Boy, what great plays. Matheson does everything for the Canadiens well. Watch this read. It's going to be a pass from Huberdeau on the flank, right in the middle to Coronado, and not a chance with Matheson there. He read that perfectly. Blake Coleman with a one-timer. You don't see that often off that flank. Nice save, and then Frost is going to attack right here with Backlund in front. Backlund's going to jam away. You can see the puck was loose, but I give the officials all the credit there. They lost sight of it. They have to blow it down.
Frost on the power play. Sets it up in tight. Backlund over to the corner, return to Frost. Down low, Backlund tried to swing and chip that one on. Comes out through the top of the crease. Fowler couldn't cover it, but it's forced to the corner. Under a minute to go in the first, and just 5 seconds remaining on the Montreal penalty kill with Struble in the box. Coleman's shot was blocked by Matheson. Zary unloads, and that ramped off a stick into the netting just as Struble escapes.
Good pressure by the Flames here on that power play, and they were getting all sorts of opportunities. Fowler's been really good. This is the best he's been in tonight's game. Boy, for a 21-year-old, he is composed, isn't he?
Well, the Canadiens organization said it's not ideal to have 3 goaltenders.
That's fair.
To fit in, but they're working with it. Anderson, now the ball, his shot off a body. Fowler took a bit of a stick, but he swiped it away with his goal stick. Anderson trying to send it back to the Montreal net. That one blocked in front by Hudson. Slafkovsky reaching for it with the left hand on the stick. Kadri turns it around. His shot blocked. Thompson feeling that one. And And the first period will come to a close, an entertaining yet scoreless tie. Dustin Wolf stopping all 14 he saw. Montreal dangerous. Let's continue Wednesday Night Hockey with David Amber.
John, thank you so much. That was an entertaining first period. We're still waiting for our first goal. Dustin Wolf, such a big part of this Calgary team. We're going to discuss that with Colby, Luke, and Jennifer coming up as well. A little take here.
Set the standard for what it meant to be tough and consistent. He holds a record that will never be touched. 502 consecutive starts by a goaltender. 552, including the Stanley Cup playoffs. He famously said he always liked to feel sick before a game. If I wasn't sick, I felt I hadn't done everything I could to try to win. Hall made his NHL debut against the Canadiens at the Montreal Forum back on December 27th, 1952. A legend who left a massive mark on the hockey world and Calgary Flames fans as the goalie coach of the Stanley Cup winning team in 1989. John Kelly.
So, Sean, I'll tell you how kind he was. So, Glenn Hall was the goalie coach for the Calgary Flames, and Al Arbor introduced us because they were great friends when I was still playing for the Islanders. And Glenn probably wasn't supposed to do this, but he gave me goaltending tips when I was with the New York Islanders and highlighted how important my skating was to how well I played. And so I focus on that the majority of my career. I'll miss him.
I appreciate you sharing that memory, pal, and thoughts go out to all of his former teammates as well, and the hockey world, who was just a legend in the game, and to the Hall family.
Well, I've known Glenn since, I think, 1984, 85, and yeah, I'll miss him.
Got some great puck stoppers up there. The late Ken Dryden and Bernie Perron.
Yeah.
Puck drops in the second period. Dobson had it angle off a stick. Ball moves to the middle. Suzuki is there. Matheson. What a big first period for Montreal. Suzuki pressured by Klapka. Huberdeau turns it around for the Flames. Anderson carries in. Calgary reaching for it. Dobson stopped on it behind the Montreal net. Swung to the line. Weir made an aggressive play around Caulfield to keep that alive. Klapka was looking for help from Calgary, but the Flames had started their change. That gives Montreal a little bit of time here. Angled off the boards towards Caulfield. Coronado was there. Hopped off the back of the jersey of Suzuki. And then knifed in by Texier as he works back to the Canadiens bench. Hudson just off the tip of the stick of Backlund. Tapping it in with a shot rising and off the right shoulder into the glove for Dustin Wolf.
Well, John, you're right about Matheson. Boy, did he ever have an impactful first period. Here's to open the second period. Nice big hit on Rasmus Anderson. So here's his stat line from the first period. 9 minutes and 12 seconds played. 3 shots in that first period. 1 block. How about for shots? So 3, as I mentioned, the first. Season high is 4 in a game. Career high is 8. Now he's added that hit. He averages over 25 minutes a night for the Habs. That is one exceptional player.
My goodness, when you hear 4 was the season high and he had 3 in the first period, right? Tells you exactly what you were referring to when number 8 is on the ice for Montreal. Big period for Phil Deneau as well, with opportunity to try and continue his perfect run on the dot. 6 for 6. And he'll make it 7. Snapped across, attempted to by Gallagher, stolen by Blake Coleman. Now on to Michael Backlund and closing the gap. Coming back for the Montreal Canadiens and Carey to get the blade on it. Bolduc reaching for it. Ball got there first. Backlund. Cross ice, skate to stick for Rasmus Anderson on the Coronado. He had a big overtime winner here last year. Calgary in front. Coleman off the pads, both legs of Fowler, and it stays out.
Well, you heard David in the panel talking about these two guys, Backlund and Coleman, and here they are working their magic again. getting pucks in deep. There's Backlund quickly from behind the net, getting it out front to Coleman, makes a stick available, and that's perhaps the best save of the night by Fowler. David, also the panel, talking about both goaltenders and how sharp they're looking tonight, and I would agree.
That's good. Been a good crease battle so far. Hanley tries to test Fowler off the stick of Demidov and into the netting.
Joel Hanley, Ryan Huska raves about him every time he's asked, just because he does play such a strong game. He's so good for his D partner, whomever he's paired with. But he's taken 2 big hits tonight, and he was roughed up by Struble. Let's watch that, see how he is.
Verstavich, the 21-year-old, shoots, and he made a great move to free himself up for that shot and missed. And a right pad stop on the follow-up by Fowler. Sharangovich over to Verstavich. Hard wrister bouncing off of a body in front. Farabee went hard to the net. Zary Flames their turn to apply some pressure in the Montreal zone. Farabee has it. Sharp angle shot stopped by Fowler, and trying to get the rebound in tight was Sharangovich. As Montreal ices this one, Hanley able to keep it that way.
All right, let's take a look at this play right off the faceoff. Verstavich is going to get the puck, and he's going to walk the line. Now watch this. Fowler, he's going to move to his left. He can't see it, so he's moving to his left and misses the net. Unfortunately, Farabee from a sharp angle. Boy, has he taken the puck to the net tonight 3 times already.
Flames a little pushback here in period number 2. Weegar to Klapka. He had some room, but couldn't control that pass. Carrier spins it around quickly. Weegar stepped up with a hard hit on Slavkovsky. Braced himself before hitting the boards in front of that Calgary bench. Huberdeau to Weegar. His shot angles up off the blade of Texier.
All right, this is interesting. The Canadiens carrying 3 goaltenders, and Marty St. Louis this morning said it's not ideal, but they're working through it. Let's take a look at their numbers the last 7 games, that road trip. So Sam Montembeault has played really well in his last 2 games. Fowler, 1-1-1, and Dobish, who we think might play tomorrow against the Panthers, he's 1-0-1. So interesting to have Fowler in tonight. Here's Dobish. Boy, he's had a good start to his young career too, hasn't he?
Well, he has, and you think of what Montembeault did last year with 31 wins.
62 games. That's puzzling to me, and I had a conversation I won't share with Marty St. Louis about that this morning, but that was really, I can't figure that out.
Carrier down low, Texier scores!
Texier with his 4th on the season, and this is going to come from a bad angle. I love how Caulfield attacks the blue line, though. Suzuki just kicks it out, and unfortunately for Dustin Wolf, I think he was thinking there's a return pass to Carrier, and there's not. And he kind of squares up to what he thought would have been a pass to the slot, and he leaves high short side available, and Texier buries it for a 1-0 lead.
And with his 4th as a Hab, that is also 100 points in the National Hockey League for Texier.
Let's take a look at it one more time. Texier from a sharp angle. I love Caulfield attacking there. He gets it to Carrier. Watch Dustin Wolf, though. He doesn't stay square to Texier. Boy, Texier is a heck of a player, but it just didn't work out this year in St. Louis for whatever reason. And so he was definitely happy to move on from that situation.
Off the draw, Flames trying to swing something back. Backlund testing Fowler, who saw just enough on the blocker side. Back. Hard around and actually comes right out of the Calgary zone. Coleman nearly intercepted that pass from Struble. Verstavich hit by Blay. Saw it just in time and absorbed it as Coleman will skate up ice with it. Blake Coleman. Starting around, 3 Habbs surround him. Flames trying to keep it in with Coronado, but Baku hit the crossbar. The first will play it in. Rasmus Andersson looking for ball. Back got in between them. Now to Lomberg. Up for Coronado. Joining is Andersson. Floats it on goal. Stick saved by Fowler. Lomberg. Rebound in the corner. Tried to center. That was broken up by Montreal. Stromgren. Andersson back for Stromgren. Calgary rookie places it into Montreal territory. Fowler didn't get all of that. Flames turn it around. Frost trying to protect that puck. Swings down low for Lomberg. At the point for Stevich. Stromgren out of the corner. Takes a stick right out of the hands of one of the Habs there. And a delayed call coming against Montreal for that hook. I believe Deneau. As the Canadiens touch it, Calgary back to the power play.
Well, Phil Deneau got his stick into the arms of Stromgren, and it was an odd thing too because Stromgren ended up with the stick in his arms.
Number 24, 2 minutes. Okay.
And it's so 2 minutes for hooking. Deneau's going to try and say that the kid sort of grabbed the stick with his arms and pulled it towards the body, but the official saw it differently.
Power play brought to you by Royale, Tiger Towel, Paper Towel, power through tough messes and so much more. Second of the game for the Calgary Flames. They're 0 for 1. Montreal on the road trip went 10 for 13 on the kill. And they're 1 for 1 tonight. Calgary looking for Coronado. Just missed setting him up. And they'll slide all the way to Dustin Wolf. Sharangovich pressured up ice by Joe Veleno, the Montreal native. Tangled up with Coronado as Veleno as well. As those two separate, Sharangovich carries in. Met with a stick of Matheson. Sharangovich powers through that. Wraps it around to the point on the power play for Andersson. Andersson looking for the pass in the slot for Calgary. Canadiens turn it around the other way. Veleno short-handed shot off the stick of Andersson into the netting.
Veleno had a real good shift on the PK there. He's getting some help from Kapanen as well. Nice play by Kapanen with the shot block, and then it quickly turns the puck up, puts it in an area pass, and Veleno, but Rasmus Andersson reads that beautifully and deflects that out of play. Impactful shift by Veleno, though.
Flames power play, minute 13 remaining on it. Face off in the Calgary zone. Suzuki watches as Backlund wins it back. Connor Zary. Uyghur and back to Zary with it, moving through into the Montreal zone. Jammed up at the line. That puck comes out. Coleman had it slide off his stick going back in. Matheson takes some more time off the clock and he'll send it down the ice. Under a minute remaining in the Montreal kill. Their second minor of the night. Frost across the Canadiens line onto Coleman. Takes up shot in the corner. Backlund. Michael Backlund behind the net. To Uyghur. Now to Zary. Shoots. That's blocked. Breaks the stick to Dobson. Zary gets it back. Montreal defending. Dobson gets the stick from Suzuki, who doesn't have one now. And Coleman from that spot sent it just wide. Uyghur applying some pressure on the power play. Zary shoots. Blocker stopped by Fowler. How did he spot that in front of, behind Backlund rather? Now Uyghur to the side. Gets it back. Fakes the one-timer. Nearly got jammed up. Zary into the slot. And out of the box is Deneau. Puck comes right to him. Philip Deneau in. Around Uyghur. Shoots. Stopped by Wolf. Didn't know where the puck was. Montreal has it. Penalty coming to Calgary. Hudson scores. Takes advantage, 2-0 Montreal.
Well, a great shot block by Dobson leads to all this offense. Deneau comes out of the penalty box. He's got Gallagher coming off the bench, so he's trying to find him. He can't. There's a first save by Wolf. Gallagher, as he always does, fighting in front. Here's a great feed right to Hudson in front with Gallagher in front. Take away the eyes of Wolf. Wolf doesn't see it. Hudson rips it home for a 2-0 lead after another big penalty kill by the Canadiens, the second of the night.
Flames. And Wolf turned it over, got back to make the left pad stop. Off to know, just fired it from the corner.
Oh, that was close to going in off Wolf and in the net.
Anderson on the Calgary. In, but not for long. Gallagher trying to find it at the Calgary line. Farabee will enter the Montreal territory. Farabee brought down. Puck freed up to Kadri, back at the line. Joel Hanley on to Brustevich. They're tight quarters. Leaves for Kadri. A shot stopped by Fowler. Lomberg is right there, and Fowler will cover up. Canadiens in their second period. Texier a goal on his 100th NHL point, and Hudson adds his 8th of the season. 2-0 Montreal in the middle frame.
Here's Deneau starting it all. Out of the penalty box, he's trying to find Gallagher, driving to the net, can't. Great save there by Wolf. Watch this angle of it, and just how relentless the Canadiens are tracking down the puck. There's Deneau spotting Hudson, and he rips it home with Gallagher right in front.
43rd point of the season in game 43 for Lane Hudson. That one batted down with a hand pass.
Well, at this point, after a real strong first period, and now the Canadiens striking early here in the second, the Flames have to make sure they don't get discouraged. You've got to continue to communicate and play with energy that they started the game with, and find a way to dig their way back into this.
Kadri hauled down by Kapanen. What a stop! Wolf rebound. Kapanen scores. Second period for Montreal.
Well, the rookie Kapanen continues to shine. He is having such a fantastic season. Take a look at this play. Now, Nazem Kadri's going to think that he's taken down by Kapanen, but everybody on the Canadiens continues to play. And watch this. Slafkovsky with a great chance. Kapanen finishes it off for his 14th of the season. Now tied with Seneca of the Ducks for most for goals by a rookie. Wow, what a season he's having.
Aim to the Finnish Olympic team is Kapanen, and at one point, Montreal with the injuries was wondering, unsure if they had to go make a move. Instead, Kapanen has filled that void. Flames with some work to do, down 3. Anderson was tied up. Kevin Ball will take over. Montreal keeps that pressure on. Play on the backhand was knocked off that possession by Michael Backlund. Blake Coleman guards the puck, swings to Backlund, trying to drop it for Coleman. We've got too many men on the ice here.
Okay, let's take a look at this goal one more time by Kapanen. You be the judge. Do you think Kapanen had tripped Kadri before the goal? And Kadri certainly thought so. He's trying to explain to the officials, I'm not going to fall on my own in that situation. And here is the penalty for too many men by the Calgary Flames on a change. And so the Canadiens get an opportunity to add to this 3-0 lead. Wow, what a quick strike team these Canadiens have been all season long. And here in the second period, they continue to add to that.
Montreal's power play 8th overall, 9th on home ice. Flames penalty kill, his 13th. One-timer, Demidov, shot blocked by Kevin Ball. Demidov across, Hudson down low, Caulfield. Passing lane taken away by Anderson, who went down to cover. Now Slavkovsky, that kind of surprised him perhaps. As he checks his stick, he was all set up and didn't get a good shot away. Montreal on the power play. Caulfield. Weegar in the corner. Huberdeau frees it up, and Joel Farabee will get it out for Calgary.
Well, what a period for the Canadiens. They've scored 3 goals on 5 shots here in the second.
And the last 2 in 67 seconds. Hudson up top, Suzuki. Fake going to his left, instead goes down the boards to the right wing side and gets it back, Suzuki. Demidov on to Slavkovsky. Hudson into the corner, Caulfield. Down low, Suzuki fans out, Weegar on him, Caulfield up to Hudson, one-timer Slavkovsky blocked by Kuznetsov, who paid the price. And then taken down on the play was Sharangovich. That puck just wide of the blocker side from Caulfield. In tight, Slavkovsky. Pressured wide by Weegar, who is at the end of his shift, but has to continue. Weegar trying to grind it out on the penalty kill. Leg burner for the Flames. Demidov, but the Montreal Canadiens trying to take advantage. 13 seconds remaining on the Montreal power play. Coleman keeps his feet moving on to Suzuki. Swings Hudson sideboard. Slavkovsky. Wolf a piece of that. Then it stays out.
Oh, he had an open net.
Remarkably, that was not the 4th goal of the period. Coronado out, Demidov and the Habbs back in. Suzuki, Calgary just trying to get their team to the bench. Will have an opportunity now.
Wow, this guy is a beast now at only 21 years old. Watch this play. Slavkovsky with the shot, Kuznetsov with the block, but now he takes down Sharangovich. Big man having a big year.
Tonight, Lane Hudson was the recipient of a beautiful pass for a one-time goal, but yesterday at practice, he was the one dishing the passes. He spends so much time on the ice. The running joke in Montreal is he'll actually never leave the ice. You give him a chance. He found a great excuse to work on a few extra skills with a bit of an undersized winger. That is actually Philip Deneau's son. Lane Hudson, you give him an opportunity to work with Deneau's son or anyone, he will be on the ice. The Montreal Canadiens have to drag him off, guys.
What a great story, Sean.
Love that, Sean.
Melt my heart. I love that. That's amazing.
We saw Joel Hanley's son earlier working with Morgan Frost, so it must be a defenseman thing setting up the kids for the one-timers.
Right, I love it.
In that case, good passing from Hudson. Montreal, they're in the driver's seat. Dobson. Pass went off a body. Philip Deneau takes a look. Bypasses Bolduc. Gallagher was tied up at the Calgary line. Ball will move it along. Rasmus Anderson off the skate of Farabee, who trapped it, but Matheson was there to recover from Montreal. Gallagher skating in. Wraps it around. Bolduc hit hard by Ball, separates the puck. Farabee to Sharangovich, wanted to give it right back, but Matheson there again. Montreal quickly in transition. Deneau reaches out to reel that in. Broken up off of his stick. Flames with Zary. Into the corner, Sharangovich. Penalty coming against Montreal just as Fowler touches it.
Montreal penalty. City Casino. This is what excitement is made of.
Jack-Eye taking a high sticking penalty on Connor Zary. The stick up right there after the hit. And so the Flames get a chance to go back on the power play. See if they can't be a little bit more urgent and attack the net a little bit more.
Well, after a scoreless first, it's Montreal with 3 goals here in the second. This is a window for Calgary. 0 for 2 tonight on the power play. 5 shots generated. Frost will dig in, wins it right back to Anderson. Huberdeau in front, Anderson to Calgary, and he healed the one-timer. Matheson trying to collect. Coronado spots it. Matheson stayed with the play.
Face side 4, 4, 2, 9, 3, DF 6. Button. Set audio cast audio but skip play button. Play. Skip play button. Play. Skip full screen 90 Calgary at Montreal. Select Calgary 90 full skip play. Skip back play but play. Dallas at Denver at assistive touch home. No cut device. Action button. More apps switcher. Apps Messenger, Sportsnet, Messenger, App Switcher, Assist Home, Sport Viking, V2, T, Stereo Lab, Sportsnet, Image, 62 per Sport tab bar, selected, watch, Sports, schedule, button, schedule, Live, NBA, Denver, live, upgrade required, NHL, live, NHL, Calgary at Montreal, live, back, and to watch live, button. Selected, live now, button.
Colby, Jennifer, Luke, and our team of statisticians, should we say?
Welcome back to Wednesday Night Hockey from Montreal. So happy you're with us tonight. And it was a hot period for the Montreal Canadiens, but just like our coordination with the wardrobes,
Twinsies.
The Flames got back on the same page near the end of that period, and it's going to be a good third.
It's going to be a great third. So what the Flames have to do, I talked about at the beginning, forecheck. They've got to get in there and start hunting pucks again. Hey, listen, this Montreal team is a great-looking young team. Like, they are so much skilled. They're physical. They've got depth. They've got everything. You take a look at their third period, the last 9 games, they're a wagon right now. And so this is going to be a tough period for the Flames. But if they start off early trying to get pucks in deep, you never know, right, John?
Indeed, trying to take a page out of the Canadiens' books, actually. You see those third period numbers, and Montreal with 13 comeback wins on the season total. Large in part because of how they played in the third, but it's the Flames trying to come back tonight. Suzuki spins one on. Early test for Dustin Wolf, who slides that away. Suzuki looking to go back in. Ball prevented that from Caulfield, who was lurking. Adam Klapka tries a shot, and that didn't miss by much as Klapka got it up in a hurry. Uyghur on the tape for Klapka. Back in the Montreal zone, around Hudson, but into the netting to stop play.
Well, Adam Klapka has been flying all night, right from his first shift, and he's going to get a great opportunity here, and he gets all of this one. And as you said, John, just barely missed. You know what? Fowler just got a piece of that. I noticed that right at the very end. I couldn't tell from the booth, but he gets a tiny little piece of it. That was an excellent shot. Good save.
Flames, as you said, trying to do a little bit more of that. Get some pucks and bodies towards Fowler. Hard hit by Uyghur. On Bolduc at center. Lane Hudson on to Gallagher. Nearly reconnect with Hudson. That was some tremendous speed on display from the Montreal defenseman.
Well, you heard the panel talking about Hudson in that second intermission, and they are so right. His edge work and everything, how he blocks shots, he does everything. Sneaky good in every area.
Kuznetsov on the reverse to Uyghur. He has Coronado way out and couldn't find him on the home run pass, but Coronado set up again. His shot is blocked as Calgary thought they had something cooking with Coronado, and icing against Montreal.
Well, this kid is special, and I can't hardly wait till he's a little bit more seasoned. Take a look at most points by defenseman this season. Makar leading the way. Werenski having another great season. Lane Hudson only 2 behind Werenski. That is just something for a young player like that. Werenski, oh my gosh, is he some player now. He has been building towards this for the last bunch of years, but he's right at the very top.
Some pretty elite company for Hudson. Last year's Calder winner, of course. Dustin Wolf, the runner-up. Montreal might have another Rookie of the Year, perhaps. We'll see. Zary trying to spin that back to Hunter Brustevich, who's officially arrived in the point category of the National Hockey League. His first NHL point on that goal from Farabee late in the second period. Give Calgary some life. Demidov, a little give and go with Kapanen. Demidov spreads it out and way out, and I mean out of play.
Rogers. Plus it up on Canada's most reliable 5G Plus network.
Face off in the Calgary zone. Slavkovsky will come in to take it against Kadri. Fight for it, Rasmus Andersson putting some hard minutes together on that Flames blue line again tonight. Up the boards, Huberdeau lost control. Wolf will step out and Cooley play that to Kevin Ball. Klapka looks cross ice, spots Huberdeau. Trying to find the slot for Ball, who was pitching in. Klapka tried to double back and is able to stay with Demidov, who nearly sprung Kapanen into the front of the Calgary net. Struble lost it to Klapka. Huberdeau wanted to go back to Klapka. Those wires were disconnected.
All right, I just mentioned about Klapka really moving his feet. Well, here's an example of it defensively. So Kevin Ball wanted to jump into the play, and all of a sudden there's no defenseman back there covering for him. So look at Klapka. He tracks down Demidov. That is an excellent play defensively by Adam Klapka.
Ryan Huskett challenged him to be an all-round everyday player with an opportunity in the top six, and it's
that's right.
That type of play, maybe, Kelly, that leads to it.
I think he's on the verge of it. I think he's starting to believe that he can be that everyday player. That he just needs that consistency, as you mentioned.
Struble for Jack guy. Ball trying to hustle up. Did get a stick on it, did Kevin Ball, but playing the Canadiens keep it alive. Back out of the corner. Ball there again. Valeno picks it up. Pass to the line. Jack guy pressure by Klapka. Finishes his hit. Oh, they come together again. Two tough customers, Jack guy and Klapka. Ball steers away from a hit. Sammy Blais in the corner. Calgary on him. Montreal protecting that puck, trying to set something up. Back. Hindered from behind by Ball, but holds on to Jack guy. Shot stop, rebound, Struble, and a save by Dustin Wolf, who pushed over. Struble with it again. Jack guy somehow saved that, and a shot tipped towards the goal, stopped by Dustin Wolf. Flames changing, Montreal looking to do the same. Jack guy up to the line, Suzuki over Caulfield, shoots, scores! What a shot! Lightning quick from Caulfield, 4-1 Montreal.
He's really good at going high short side, and that's what Caulfield does on this one for his 21st of the season. Watch this one. Oh my gosh. You cannot put that in a better spot. That is perfectly placed by Cole Caulfield. That is just a thing of beauty. You know, I think some people may say short side, but that is just such a tremendous shot. Wow, that is something to watch.
Not only that, he had to settle that puck down. He did. And get the shot off in one motion.
That just goes back to our point in the first period where we were saying he's dangerous every single time he's out there. He gets quality chances all the time.
Montreal restores a 3-goal lead. Hudson. Gallagher couldn't find the back of the net with it. Carrying onto Bolduc, who hits the shaft of the stick of Wolf, who keeps it out.
Tylenol Complete relieves cold, cough, and flu symptoms. Get relief like a pro with Tylenol, the official cold relief partner of the NHL.
Oh, Dustin Wolf gets lucky here. Bolduc right in the slot. He gets this chance. It's going right off the shaft of the goalie stick. By the way, Texier had an assist on that Caulfield goal. That's his first career three-point game. Yeah, he's playing great. Like, I don't know why it didn't work out in St. Louis, but oh my gosh, he looks great tonight.
Well, Texier, remember, was with Columbus, ended up going back to Switzerland.
That's right.
So he's found a pretty good fit here in Montreal.
I guess if your line mates are called Suzuki and Caulfield, that's a pretty good situation to be in.
That could work.
That might work.
We don't have to tell you, but it is 4-1 Montreal. Coleman trying to get Calgary back into the fight. Veleno. Beck protects, swings to Struble, cross ice, hot shot Matheson, and a stop and a cover up for Wolf.
Well, Matheson, he's going to get an opportunity here, and he just puts it on net. He's just such a smart player. Mr. Do everything for the Canadiens. I've been a big fan for a long, long time. He's physical too, blocks shots, penalty kill, everything. Whatever you need, he's the guy to put on the ice. And remember, he scored the overtime winner in Calgary, October 22nd.
He did just that. The Point Claire, Montreal suburb, made up, and Skeets miles for this Canadiens team on the back end.
Yeah, he does.
Montreal with it again. Safkovsky all the way around. Ball trying to catch up to it. Demidov finds it. Demidov centering, and Flames got the sticks in the way there. Huberdeau able to chip it free. Energy to a different level. Three-goal lead back on the board for Montreal. Canadiens work at Slavkovsky. Now to Matheson. And that jumps into the Calgary bench. Cole Caulfield can do what so many others can't, and he puts the Habs back in front by 3.
We talk so much about the culture that the Montreal Canadiens have built, and a big reason and a big person who drives it is head coach Martin St. Louis. And you get an example of it right here. Martin St. Louis and Stéphane Robidas having a long conversation, almost looked like a debate. They had to get a second opinion. They go to Mike Matheson in discussions with him. They take his input, and they continue to talk. And anytime you hear Marty St. Louis talk about his team, his players, it's all about communication. He's open, he's up front, and he wants everyone to be involved. And guys, that's a perfect example right there.
I agree, Sean. So Stéphane Robidas, he has 937 career NHL games. Some of it 3 years here in Montreal, Dallas. He had a great run all over, but he was an excellent player himself. What knowledge.
Flames trying to quiet this place down. It's a tough task. Long shot for the point, Kuznetsov. Bouncing puck. How about that stick handling for Blake Coleman? Gallagher. Closed on by Weegar. Struble shoots off a body. Blocking that was Mackenzie Weegar. He'll slowly make his way to the Calgary bench. Jack reaches center, spins it in. Klapka. Trying to make a juke move around Texier. Texier steals. Suzuki off a stick. Flutters right to Caulfield. Back to the line. Hudson. Over down for Carrier. His shot blocked by Klapka. Chergovich on the backhand off of Hudson. Montreal away with it. Flames changing.
This building is something, isn't it? This absolutely never gets old coming here to Montreal or this building.
Up ice back. And Wolf will decide to cover up.
And they are building something here, aren't they, with this Canadiens roster? I talked about it a few minutes ago. They've got everything. They've got depth. They've got all sort of different aspects that you need. Got a great head coach. Their player development has just been tremendous.
Trying to put it all together. Made a push and got into the playoffs last year.
And I'm also cheering for Sam Montembeault to find his game too, right? The last 2 games he's played, victories. Last year he played 62 games for the Canadiens on the Four Nations team. He had a heck of a year.
Matheson's initial shot was stopped and play was on the doorstep, but Wolf didn't have to make a save as he scrambled to try and find it. Fowler nearly had that puck stolen by Fairby. Finds it in front to Huberdeau. Stop Fowler. Top of his crease.
Well, I thought Sammy Blais was going to bury it for a 5-1 lead. If you take a look just to the left of Dustin Wolf, there's a rebound. Number 27, far left side. Sammy Blais coming in there. Oh my gosh, that is a great defensive play from Calgary to come back down towards the crease and tie up his stick so he can't bury an empty netter.
Calgary trying to prevent the roof coming off of this place.
Yeah, right.
Kadri to Kuznetsov. Hard shot, but swallowed up by Fowler.
So here's a real good young goaltender. He's only played, if you can imagine this, John, 18 games in the American Hockey League. Like 15 this year, last year only 3. That's very limited time in the American Hockey League. Well, most people will tell you goalie's got to play down there and get experience at that level, and yet he has gone past that league by now at this point.
Kadri to Kuznetsov off the draw. Point shot missed. Mackenzie Weegar. Huberdeau. Kuznetsov again. Shot blocked. Montreal trying to get out. Slavkovsky nearly sprung for a break. Slavkovsky does catch up to it. Weegar rolls off of Slavkovsky. Swings to Demidov. Tried to force a pass. It goes around the front and right back on the Wolf, who was alert, made the right pad save as things came undone for a moment in front of that Calgary net. Slavkovsky. Back in for Montreal. Keeps it wide. Curls in behind Wolf. Appears on the far side. Lomberg steals the puck. Flames trying to push. That Montreal speed, though, always present. Wobbling puck will not be icing. Ball after it. Anderson on to Stromgren, who outlets for Frost. Didn't realize Bolduc was trailing him, and Montreal gets the puck back. Not yet at the halfway point of the third. Deneau. Backhand wraparound stop by Dustin Wolf. Stromgren up the boards. Jack-eye steals. Tries to pepper it down low. Stromgren got it back. He's nearly knocked off stride by Gallagher. And that will draw a penalty, so the Flames have another opening. It'll be their 4th power play of the hockey game to get the extra attacker on. Should they get there? Zary. Down to Kadri. Back to Zary. In tight, tried to center. That'll be whistled down. Stromgren in his first NHL game will help put Calgary back on the power play off the slash from Gallagher. Beautiful scenes outside and inside for Wednesday night hockey. Flames on a back-to-back to start this road trip. Head to Boston to take on the Bruins tomorrow night. Our coverage starts at 6:30 Eastern, 4:30 Mountain on Sportsnet 1 and Ontario. Flames to their 4th power play of the hockey game, 0 for 3. Gallagher in the box. Trying to find one to, again, cut the gap on the board. Montreal's come up with 3 straight kills tonight. Counter out of the corner for Coronado. Off a stick, Flames save it. Anderson. Kadri. Now Coronado, some room up top between the circles. Dishes to Sharangovich. Lost it, and it comes out. Sharangovich. Kadri sends it back to him. Carry there first, and a wicked puck off the glass, off of Huberdeau and down the ice.
Well, Jennifer talked about in that intermission about the Canadiens PK and aggressive at the right times, and that was an example of Carrier twice on that PK.
Sharangovich on to Kadri, right across the line. Neat pass to Anderson. He lost control. Short-handed look coming up. Valeno tripped up, shoots, missed on the blocker side. Penalty coming on the hook.
Let's take a look at Carrier on the PK and how he reads the play, and he's going to take away an initial pass right into the slot right there, stick in the lane perfectly. Now he's going to kick out right, go after Kadri. Kadri had the back to him. Good time to attack. And then how about this play? Valeno, great speed, and then that's Noah Dobson, also the defenseman, joining. They basically had a 2-on-0 because Dobson joined Valeno on that rush. I talked about Valeno last period about how good he is on the penalty kill. Another example of it.
So some 4-on-4 for just under a minute. If nothing changes, Montreal just over a minute of power play time. Backlund working his way in. Left that for Coleman, who picks it up behind the Montreal net. Coleman to Weegar in front. Watched by Texier. Now Kuznetsov shoots. Stop point blank by Fowler. Kuznetsov had a great look. Coleman takes his man out. Now it's Dobson in the corner. Backlund tracks it back to Brustevich. Flames complete their change. Under 8 to go in the third. 4-1 Montreal. 4-on-4 action. Flames will have to be cautious as Gallagher rising. And out of the box comes Brendan Gallagher. Minute 2 seconds on a shortened Montreal power play. Flames have it in the corner. And Farabee steals shorthanded. Made a great pull-up move, but couldn't get all the way around Matheson. Farabee with 3 shorties this season in Calgary colors. Slafkovsky on the power play to Suzuki. Great stop by Wolf. Couldn't collect the rebound, but he made the initial save. Coleman pressuring, and Caulfield able to swing the stick to break it up.
All right, Kuznetsov's playing his 29th consecutive games for the Flames after being called up. With plays like this, I don't see him spending any more time in the American Hockey League. He is NHL ready. Great opportunity. Watch this save by Dustin Wolf. Suzuki gets a broken play at the side of the net, throws it on net, and Dustin Wolf fights that one off.
Puck dropped at center. 24 seconds remaining in the Calgary kill. Caulfield to Hudson on the backhand, but piece of the stick in the lane there from Weegar. Help get the Flames get the puck back initially. Slafkovsky wraps it around. 5 seconds remaining in the penalty to Rasmus Anderson. Demidov over a stick. Kuznetsov bouncing puck. Tough to deal with. Weegar finds it. Flames try to sort it out. Huberdeau to Anderson out of the box and could not hit him cleanly. Now Anderson steals away from Fowler, but just enough of the stick to prevent a wraparound. Frost was in, but Caulfield brought it up ice.
Boy, that's Slafkovsky. He's hard to handle. He's a big man. 6'3", 225. Tonight's game, he has 3 shots on goal and 10 shot attempts.
Showed patience with the former #1 overall pick and appears to have paid off.
Yeah, it's looking like a great pick now.
Deneau angles out around for Stevich. Hanley plays to Stromgren. Around to the far boards. There he's had some time. Gallagher pressuring. So is Bolduc. Flames down 3. Will bounce one into Fowler, who wants to keep it playing and does. Off the initial dump in from Zary. Montreal content to take some time off the clock. Jacka advances off the stick of play. Wolf steps out, plays it, and it'll work. Nearly connected with Zary up ice. Semi play, 1 against 4 coming in. Valeno. Canadians on the outside, cycle it, play. Back, let it go. Hudson couldn't get around Klapka, who moves it up to Sharangovich, crouches in with Kadri. His shot scores! Nazem Kadri. Some life in the third for the Flames.
All right, we said at the beginning that Kadri would have a game. He loves this building. You take a look at that defensive play he made just a couple minutes ago, take away an opportunity by play, and here he is just getting Fowler to move a little bit to his right, and then goes far side. Beautiful shot by Kadri.
Montreal is challenging the play for offside prior to the goal.
Take a look at the situation room in Toronto as they size this one up.
Well, this is huge. 4-1 with 4:30 left is a lot safer lead than 4-2 with 4:30 left. Oh, they've made a decision that quickly.
Upon further video review, it was determined the play at 4:32 was offside. We have no goal.
Okay, this is the view that the NHL used. And there's the puck. Yeah, that's right. That's a great call.
Gord Dwyer announced it.
Yep.
Montreal Canadiens and Marty St. Louis now 2 for 3 this season on challenges, and Flames thought they had some momentum off a goal, but it's been erased, and it's back to a 3-goal separation on the board. Thompson, that was close to the line, but it'll be Calgary that gets to puck first in their own zone. Farabee on to Huberdeau. Kadri looking for Huberdeau in tight, and Fowler gets down to cover up. Always a great atmosphere in this building. Lots of fans, some Calgary ones too, in a 4-1 hockey game.
The winning way to shop from home, Instacart, groceries that over-deliver. Let's take another look at the Cole Caulfield goal because it is worth a few more looks. He corrals the puck out of midair, goes short side like he has so many times before. A beautiful goal for his 21st of the season. He's on pace for 40, and he's threatening to become the first Montreal Canadiens player to score 40 in a year since Vincent Domfus did it back in '94. The Montreal Canadiens fans love their stars, and they have a handful on this young Habs team, guys.
He almost got there last year at 37.
Yeah, right. What a shot, and Sean's right. That never gets old, looking at that shot, that release. Looked as though even as he tried to settle the puck down, the more I looked, it might have been on end when he shot it, which is even more remarkable that it can be that accurate.
Flames thought they had one in this third period, which now has under 4 minutes remaining in it. Kadri's 9th goes back to his 8th of the season. After a challenge, Backlund pulls that ahead. Fowler left it. Coronado pressured Struble. Coronado trying to stay with Struble. Canadiens will play Florida tomorrow at home. And we alluded to the start of a 5-game trip for the Flames tomorrow night. in Boston. Hanlick to Lomberg off the bench.
Oh, that is typical Hudson, isn't it? The fake pass. See if he can get the defenders to fall for it.
Had some time back there to make a decision. Stromgren trying to lead Lomberg in, didn't connect with him this time.
It seems like whenever I cover a game with Hudson, he does this at least once or twice behind the net. Watch this. He's going to do the old fake pass, see if you can get the defenders to fall for it. I know there's a couple of TV directors that might fall for it from time to time.
Fowler didn't. I was watching his goalie.
Right.
Those shall be not be named. Remain nameless. Off the draw, Montreal with it. Struble. Stromgren in there for Calgary. Lomberg. Stromgren trying to hunt that down. Veleno plays it the other way. Sammy Blake. Delayed offside against the Flames. Lomberg nearly stole. Well, Calgary has had pockets in games in the last 3 now where they've been aggressive and have been in a tight hockey game, but a loss to Nashville on home ice, a loss to Seattle on home ice, and this one, Montreal took over in the second period. Beck swings to the side, and a stop by Wolf. He got 2 saves with the left pad before covering.
They didn't just start businesses, they changed the game. With Intuit QuickBooks, they get a complete view, all in one platform. It's a game plan.
This fourth line for the Canadiens, they've had a big impact too. And talk about that forecheck. Beck is on it. You get Blay, excuse me. I know Jack was on the ice as well, trying to create something. They've been really impactful. I've liked their line. I like their energy, their size, everything about that fourth line.
Off the draw, Gallagher tried a quick shot. That was blocked. Flames move out with it. Farabee, he's been hard working tonight for Calgary. Into the Montreal zone. Habs spent a lot of their time in comebacks or in overtime and extra time on the road trip. They're enjoying a 3-1 lead at home. 3-goal lead as Brustevich tests Fowler. Huberdeau sends it over, and Farabee's shot was blocked. They had Fowler moving, but couldn't get the puck through.
What a block by Hudson. It looked like it was going to be a great opportunity for Farabee again.
Kadri on the rebound, couldn't pop a backhand on after the initial shot by Farabee was stopped. Gallagher with under a minute to go in period number 3.
Pretty much know what the coach is thinking. Brian Huska didn't pull Dustin Wolf when they had zone time with about a minute and a half to go. Down 4-1.
Coronado taken down. 30 seconds remaining. Tripped up was Veleno. They'll let him play on. Well, the Flames will lose their 3rd straight, and this one to open a road trip. Montreal comes back home, and listen to this building. Montreal will take it on home ice.
Nice tidy win by the Montreal Canadiens here. First game back in the new year. Boy, they had everything working tonight. Now they're going to have to reset because they have the Florida Panthers in here tomorrow night. And for the Flames, get undressed as quickly as possible. Get on that charter, get to Boston, because you have a big game tomorrow night against a tired Boston Bruins. They lost yesterday in Seattle, so that they could be road weary themselves.
And Flames looking to bounce back. Montreal looking to keep it going tomorrow against the Panthers. Great opening period, but the Habs took over in the second and wouldn't look back. 4-1 the final. It's time for Sportsnet Central, presented by KFC. Ken and Ivanka coming up next. Thanks for watching tonight. Wednesday Night Hockey